All right, the story continues at the hangar. We actually were supposed to go to a STEM event for little kids up at Boston Logan, which is an exciting opportunity for us general aviation pilots to fly into a big class Bravo. We were literally in the plane, our other plane, ready to take off, and the weather on the approach side went to 85% thunder showers, and it turned really kind of dark magenta. So we decided to scrap that, but while we're at the airport, Alex and I are going to try and put the ailerons on, and the control surface will just kind of chip away at it. Maybe we'll go flying maybe a little bit later. We'll see how that pans out, but back at it. All right, made some progress. We didn't go flying, but we built a plane, or continued to build a plane. I got this mounted in there. In an earlier video I showed that I actually made a spacer instead of those 3 thick washers. This one we still have to drill once it's lined up with the main wings, but I mean the play, as you can see, the tolerance is very minimal, so I hope it's straight and don't have to move it too much. We did preliminarily get all of the rigging done for this. We didn't really have a plan, we just kind of started playing with it and see how it all falls into place. So I found the turnbuckle for here, and we got it so I think left is left and right is right, and also hooked up the flaps, so that was all pretty easy. I'm gonna take a little bit of a look what other people are doing here. So I mean, I can move this out of the way, but I feel it's a little bit close for comfort, so that might have to go underneath, which not the end of the world, just a matter of redoing it. And what else? It's coming together. Oh, we got the wingtips on too. Now I was all excited to try the strobes, except I realized I haven't done the plugs inside there yet on the wing side. And oh, speaking of connection, so we have pitot long enough to go down here, and we have pitot long enough inside here to go up there. But I think either the connections will be in line or like down there somewhere, so gotta deal with that. But anyway, for now, good night. Oh, see ya. Thank you for watching. More airplane parts going to the hangar. So I realized the last video was only like 4 minutes long and I needed some more stuff. So we're bringing the racks up, more plane parts. And me and my brother-in-law Stefan are gonna go visit a friend who's having a barbecue cookout with a wicked cool hangar. Maybe I can show it to you. All right, a little bit of an update. Have worked a day, 2 days actually, I think, up here. But I couldn't find my camera. It was inside my flight bag, so I didn't, I thought my flight bag was, anyway. Found the camera, and we're back. Since the last time, I got this guy up here, and I wanted to, since we're using the Aerosport fairing, I wanted to make sure that this doesn't interfere with it. So this is the rubber gasket that goes underneath. So I trimmed on the inside, I cut a couple of notches out where there's 2 or 3 places on each side that you need to cut those out. So fit that on, gasket, and that still fits over it. So I'm gonna CA glue that on, got that I only have a pick holding it in because you need 2 people, so I gotta wait for George to come up and or somebody give me a hand with that. Then I moved on to the inside and I ended up doing all of these connectors here. So that's kind of our junction bundle that sits there, kind of behind that panel, but if you need to, you could pull it through that side and access it if need be. I did that on that side too. I'm gonna get a couple of course I have every pitot or every push to connect coupler except for a straight one, so I ordered a couple of those to put in there. Tested everything. We got landing lights and strobe lights and nav lights and all that good stuff. I think today I'm going to focus on tightening these main wing bolts, and the reason being is I want to put the elevator on, which is up there, but in order to put the elevator on I got to deal with this. I think I talked about this before. There's very little adjustment to where to drill the hole, but I brought up a laser level, one of those things used for home building, and I think the idea is to line the back up and line the wings up and just make sure they're in the ballpark. But first I gotta tighten the wings. So that's today's project. See ya. Alright, if I read my little chart right, and 5/16 bolts, 100 to 140 inch-pounds, so I'm doing 120 on my little ratchet here. The tricky part is trying to get something to hold this side, and the only thing that I found that works is literally kind of like jamming a screwdriver in there and then gently going on the other side. So that did seem to work. This big guy, 3/8 bolt and 6, 160 to 190, so I'm going to tighten that one to 175 right in the middle. That should also compensate for the nylock. If you remember, early on I jumped the gun and I drilled that second hole, obviously straight, or as straight as I could anyway, but everything seems to fit just fine, so I'm glad that wasn't a big oopsie. I'm always surprised at how light I did these at 25 inch-pounds. So for an AN bolt, 25 inch-pounds is just so little, it's deceiving. Those guys are obviously a little bit more, but still feel like you could tighten them a lot more, but I'm gonna go with the specs. All right, moving on. Trying to figure out how to level this thing. So I got a little laser level and kind of set it up in the middle. Shut the door a little bit to get some light out. Turn this off. What I'm doing now is, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't even know if you can tell on the camera, but there's a light there. I also was able to get a light up in here, so it's just below the upper rivets, and the plane is a little bit low on this side. That's why I have the ladder just kind of pushing it up. So I'm going to try and level the wings, make sure everything is straight there, and then level this, well, hope this thing is level so I can bolt that back piece in. All right, right now everything seems to be 100% level. I have it level inside here. I do feel like this wingtip is just a tad bit lower than that side, but at the root it's level. And this thing, I basically also just put the same level on there, so if there's a discrepancy in that, it should be the same no matter what. But that's bullseye right on the center rivets going all the way across. So basically I'm just going to drill it where it is, so I'm real happy with that. But before I do that, I didn't tighten the wing struts yet, which I'm not really sure if that's going to affect the up and down of that. I think at the end of the day I'm overthinking it. Like, we're literally off less than, I don't know, a small fraction of an inch. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I probably should just move forward. Hey, that one was a little tricky. That one wanted to see 450, so 475 inch-pounds. So I did about 40 foot-pounds, including the nylock. And you couldn't really get leverage on the inside, but fortunately, this wrench actually fits right through there, and you can do one click at a time to get it to torque right. So, yeah. All right, got them all torqued tight. Got torque seal on them all to remind me that I got them torqued tight, even the inside ones. And now we're back to measuring with the laser. So didn't make a huge difference. We're still straight across on the inner spar there. I'm real happy with that. You got literally just below the rivets on this side and just below the rivets on that side. This side was a little bit low, so I just moved it up to match that side all the way across. And then basically, without touching the plane, took the magic laser, lined it up here, and kind of just using the center rivets. So that looks as straight as can be all the way across. And I think I have my friend Alex here. Maybe while we're here, we'll do one more measurement from this wingtip to that corner, just to make sure we're not drastically off there. You up for that, Alex? Yep. All right, let's do it. All right, so we measured the 6 ways to Sunday from that tip to here, like where the tip and the aileron meet up. And then we also measured from the leading edge of the horizontal stabilizer to that line right here, which is the skin. So we have about a 1/2 inch discrepancy from there to there. And we have about a 3/8 discrepancy from here to here. So this is pretty much butted up against here. We snugged those down. There's really no adjustments that we can do going left and right unless I pull this one back. No, sorry, take this spacer out and pull that one back. I was just wondering if anybody else had any issues with that. We're pretty level this way, and I assume that's the more important thing, and this way. But yeah, curious. Any input, appreciate it. Alright, no turning back now. Got this guy drilled. You can pull that off. And for what it's worth, they had a AN4-6, but I didn't have enough thread showing on the inside. I did a 3/16 spacer here, like others have. They used 3 thick washers, which adds up to 3/16. I just made a spacer, but I only had pretty flush, I don't know if you can see inside there, thread. So I did the AN4-7, and that works out perfect. Boy, the price you pay for getting your hands into tight places. But the bolts are in. Now, time to mount this guy. Alright, so these are kind of a booger to get in. We've had them in before, but I think that was without this guy and without that top cover on, so you could kind of just reach in. I tried pretty unsuccessfully to get them in from underneath, but I was able to reach my hand through here, up inside. Move this out of the way. And you can kind of see what you're doing. Line it up and get it in and hopefully get your hand out again.